Wednesday, January 9, 2019. A customer counts Kenyan money at a bank counter. Receipts from the international trade-in services increased by 10.1% to KSH $136 billion, $1.36 billion, from KSH $123.6 billion, $1.23 billion in the 3 months to September 30, 2018. File photo, NMG. According to the latest data from the KNBS, the country's stock of forex reserves fell to $8.62 billion, from $9.04 billion in the same period in 2017. A total of $413 million worth of forex reserves was used to service external debt. Africa remained the leading destination of Kenya's exports during the 3 months, July to September 2018, accounting for 35.9% of the total exports. Advertisement by James Anyanzwa. More by this author. Kenya's balance of payments (BOP) position improved in the 3 months to September 30, 2018, as the country exported more goods and services, but the value was not big enough to plug a KSH $39.2 billion, $392 million deficit. The BOP tells whether the country is saving enough to pay for its imports. A negative BOP is bad for an economy, because it means the government has to borrow to finance imports and domestic production, leading to accumulation of debt. According to the latest data from the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics (KNBS), the country's stock of forex reserves fell to $8.62 billion, from $9.04 billion in the same period in 2017. A total of $413 million worth of forex reserves was used to service external debt. According to the government statistics agency, the overall BOP recorded a deficit of KSH $39.2 billion, $392 million, from KSH $70.1 billion, $701 million in the same period in 2017. During the period under review, total exports grew by 3.9% to KSH $150.6 billion, $1.5 billion, from KSH $145 billion, $1.45 billion, while the value of imports dropped by 4.3% to KSH $432.3 billion, $4.32 billion. This was attributed to increased exports of horticulture, coffee, apparel and titanium ore. Receipts from the international trade-in services increased by 10.1% to KSH $136 billion, $1.36 billion, from KSH $123.6 billion, $1.23 billion, while travel net inflows went up by 23.4% as visitor arrivals increased during the period. According to the report, earnings from TE, the leading foreign exchange earner, declined by 10.1% to $326 million. This was as a result of the decline in the unit price of black tea in the international market from $3.18 per kilogram to $2.64 per kilogram in the review period. The report notes that the government's expenditure on imports fell by 4.3% to KSH $432.3 billion, $4.32 billion, from KSH $451.7 billion, $4.51 billion, largely due to a decline in imports of sugar, maize, animal and vegetable oils and fertilizers. However, the import bill for petroleum products increased by 35.3% to KSH $76.7 billion, $767 million, during the review period. Africa remained the leading destination of Kenya's exports during the 3 months, July to September 2018, accounting for 35.9% of the total exports. Kenya's exports to African countries, however, declined by 3.8% due to a decrease in exports to the common market for Eastern and Southern Africa. The value of exports to COMESA fell to KSH $39.3 billion, $393 million, from KSH $41.7 billion, $417 million. However, there was a notable increase in total exports to South Africa, mainly on account of machinery re-exports. Exports to the European Union accounted for 19.7% of the total exports of KSH $29.6 billion $296 million, with total exports to Netherlands, Germany and Spain recording increases of 14.4%, 7.7% and 53.3%. According to the report, Kenya's export earnings from the Far East rose by 6.1% to KSH $28.2 billion $282 million, driven by rising exports to China, India and Japan, which increased by 62.4%, 73.6% and 12.9%, respectively. Exports to Pakistan dropped from KSH $15.7 billion $157 million to KSH $13.8 billion $138 million. Advertisement. More than a week after the crucial poll, the country's electoral commission has not set a date. Kim to step down February, more than 3 years before his current term was due to.